Easy on his shoulders on
Crash,
stage.
crash behind. Sean's just seen a crash behind. And we can see it. Riders all over the place here. They are slipping, they are sliding, and we're nowhere near Naples yet. Left-hand side, issue for Ineos Grenadiers, straight up. There's an issue here. Then talk of Bernal. Somebody's mentioned Bernal. It's not Bernal. The camera operator there mentioned Bernal.
There's a crash further ahead, look.
There is another crash further ahead. Rider down here for Israel. Alpecin de Koenig on the right-hand side.
Mads Pedersen was down.
Mads Pedersen down. There's a rider down there as well. Oh, my word, they are down all over the place. We're counting the cost already, and there's 70 Ks still to go. Yates is on his feet here. Also there for Tudor. That is 195, Florian Stock. There's a rider there for Movistar. Riders from UAE involved, and this is an absolute disaster. Right-hand side, Carapaz is down. Is this Primož Roglic? It looks like it might be Hindley, that on the right-hand side.
Yeah, it is. Sorry, Rob.
That is Jai Hindley down on the right-hand side, far side. There are so many riders down here requiring attention that for safety reasons there's not enough ambulances, not enough medical staff, and there has been a neutralisation on the way to Napoli. It's a chance to count the cost, and there are so many riders down and affected that we're struggling.
It's all right, but not getting up immediately.
Let's have a look at the replay.
So left-hand side of our screen is where Red Bull is. You'll see here, Sean mentioned it earlier, just braking, not being able to brake hard enough, and first rider down right at the front.
And that's taken a heck of a load of riders down behind.
The problem is with the wet roads and the slippery roads, when somebody in front slow down, you have to brake a bit heavy.
Oh no. Giro D'Italia winner here to help Primož Roglic. The Maglia Rosa was his, and I'm afraid Jai Hindley has had to abandon the Giro on day 6. It's a huge blow for his own season. It's a massive, massive problem for Primož Roglic for now. But Jai Hindley is off into the ambulance. We wish him the best, a speedy recovery, and that is not what he, nor I think most spectators at all, wanted to see. It's early, we've not even had the first GC fight yet, but your reaction, Sean, to Jai Hindley abandoning the Giro?
Well, this is a real disaster for him and for the team as well, and Primož Roglic, because he is a rider that in the big mountains he's the one who will be going to be with Primož, and they've just lost him there. And we can see the replay again. It looked like that maybe it slowed a little bit, touched the wheels, and down they went, and then of course it was a domino effect further back through the peloton. And for Hindley, it's just one of these disastrous days in bike racing, and this Giro he's been building up. We always talk about the time they put in the race, they built up to this one, and then one crash, and when you have a bad one, it's just race over.
Months and months and months away from your family, camping out in a boring hotel room at the top of a volcano, nothing to do but train and concentrate. You turn up here, and then something like that in a millisecond happens. Roglic now is in conversation with the commissars, and I'm sure as a senior man and representing with other riders who are the official representatives of the Riders' Union, we'll be in conversation about what we do here. The riders won't be happy, I'm sure, about the state of the road. There's Van Aert having a chat with Mads Pedersen. I'm going to bring in Matt Stevens here if I can, because Matt, of course, you're a man well versed in law and rules and everything else. Rules are constantly changing on this front at the moment, aren't they? But the riders now have more power. The riders, of course, can put their point across, and there are now rules to govern that with protocols and things, aren't there? And Roglic is obviously having the conversation with the commissars about what happens next.
Exactly, Rob. No, well, first and foremost, wishes go out to all the riders that have crashed in this race. Catastrophic, the ripple effect that we saw there. All the best to Jai Hindley. Just to echo Sean's sentiments there, absolutely awful to see him out of this race. But we saw recently in the Tour of Turkey that I was commentating on, we had a day where it was raining and there was a big crash, but not a lot of riders came off and the race was ultimately neutralised. But this is happening more and more. These aren't particularly adverse weather conditions at all, but moderate rain can cause treacherous road conditions. So it's the conditions that they're riding upon which are dangerous. And we saw that clip, and I was looking at one of our quad screens and saw it from the back, and it's on a straight bit of road. There wasn't even a gentle curve. It was just a slight touch of brakes. Adam described the fact that it's literally, I mean, the tyre technology that these riders are using these days, it's the best that it's ever been. They're more comfortable, there's more grip, there's more comfort, they're faster, yet still on road surfaces like this, it is absolutely lethal. I've come off in the Giro D'Italia in conditions like this on a straight bit of road, and all it needs is a touch of the brakes, but the bike doesn't slow down like it normally does. The grip, the tyres just drift, and there was a few riders just drifting all over the place. It's very, very difficult. But then we get to the question of what do we do? First and foremost, it's the rider's safety. The reason I would imagine that they've neutralised the race right now is because of the lack of support for medical support for the race. In a Grand Tour, there is a lot of support. There are several ambulances. There's also a doctor's car as well. But once that is used up, there needs to be some other support in place before they can re-continue the race. I actually am quite interested in what Adam said earlier on. Really, they should be stopping the race, in my humble opinion. Stop the race, although, you know, there's risks of other accidents happening now on this surface, you know what I mean? Is stop the race. Otherwise it becomes very, very ambiguous, but it is a very, very difficult one. I mean, there's more and more focus on rider safety as we look at Richard Carapaz, another rider who hit the deck really, really hard, and it's a difficult one, but there is a lot more power that comes from the riders now, and we've seen Primož Roglic in discussions. We saw Mads Pedersen, one of the big patrons, with Wout van Aert having a conversation now, and I can tell you what, we know from the finishes that they are going to stop it by the sounds of it. We know that the conditions at the finish aren't much better. We understand it's raining at the finish now, and we are only going to encounter similar conditions on the run to the line. But what do we do?
Yeah.
Do we just stop the race and neutralise it, or do we accept that this is part and parcel of bike racing? It's a very difficult question to answer.
Right, news coming from Race Radio is that the bunch are being held at 20 kilometres per hour to let riders come back. Danny Martinez is on his way back here with Jan Tratnik. Of course, they were checking on the health of Jai Hindley. Once the riders are back, we're told that the race will restart with the same gap before the crash. But, Sean, you've been watching the conversations. Might not happen, eh? We'll see.
Well, it's going to be an interesting one, and we could see Primož talking with one of the organisation cars there, and we could see you know, the riders, you know, asked him, well, what's the situation, and he was you know, waving his head, and he wasn't happy with what he was hearing. And now we're hearing this, you know, they're going to resume racing. But talking about stopping the race, it's the difficult one when you stop, because riders, they go back to the team cars, and
we saw it at Paris-Nice, didn't we? And they weren't happy with that.
Exactly.